Welcome to Lively Lewis Stories.
Buckle up, because you're about to join Levi and Ivy on an adventure.
All you need is your imagination, and off we
go! Lively Lewis Stories!
Hey there, awesome friends.
Guess what?
We're super thrilled to share some exciting news with you.
We've got our very own Lively Lewis merchandise.
Woohoo! Grab your parents and head over to livelylewisshop.com or simply click on the link below in our show notes.
Now, let's dive into today's story.
It was a really exciting day for Levi and Ivy because it was their first day of their vacation, and they would be going to see Niagara Falls. Their parents had wanted to take them there for years and had told them so many fun and amazing things about the natural wonder. Okay, kiddos, who's ready for Niagara Falls quiz? Said their dad as they drove from the hotel to the falls. I am, called out Levi and Ivy together. But can we make it a short quiz, Dad? Asked Ivy. Yeah, Dad, it's summer vacation after all. We're supposed to be done with quizzes, added Levi as he looked out the car window. Yes, it'll be a short quiz, replied their dad with a laugh. True or false? There are 2 Niagara Falls. True, shouted Ivy. There are the falls in Niagara Falls, New York, and the falls in Niagara, Canada. They're connected by 2 bridges. The coolest one is the Rainbow Bridge. The falls in Canada are called the Horse Saddle. No, the Horse Trail. No, that's right, the Horseshoe Falls, said Levi. Wow, I'm really impressed with the 2 of you. Maybe we won't need to go on a tour of the falls when we get there. You can just tell us everything we need to know, said Levi and Ivy's dad, looking very proud. How about this one, started their mom. Do you remember which waterfall is wider? The one in Canada or the one we're going to see in New York? I think they're both about the same height, but the one in Canada is wider, said Ivy. Yep, she's right, added Levi. The one in Canada is like 2,500 feet wide, and the New York one is about half that. I agree, said Levi and Ivy's mom, looking at their dad. We definitely already have 2 of the best Niagara Fall tour guides right here. We may know a lot, but we still really want to go on the Maid of the Mist boat tour and take a look at the falls from the water, said Ivy. And the Journey Behind the Falls tour, added Levi with a smile. I bet it feels like you're in another world when you're back there. Oh, and we can't forget the Rainbow Bridge, said Ivy. We just need to have our passports with us because the bridge starts in the United States and ends in Canada. Isn't that cool? The kids were so excited that the trip to get to Niagara Falls seemed to be taking forever. When they finally arrived, they couldn't wait to get out and take a look around. It was just as beautiful as they had imagined it would be in person. A light mist filled the air and the cool water felt refreshing on their skin. The sound of the falls was loud, yet relaxing, and created a natural rhythm that danced all around them. Look at the sign, called out Levi and Ivy's dad over the sound of the rushing water of one of the world's largest waterfalls. It says here that the name Niagara was adapted from a native language and means thundering noise. They got that right, said Levi and Ivy's mom. What did you say, Mom? Shouted Ivy. I said they got that name right. The falls are pretty loud, shouted Ivy's mom. Pretty clouds? Asked Levi, looking a bit confused. Yep, they're pretty, but I think the falls are a little bit more impressive. Oh, never mind, giggling Ivy and Levi's mom as they all stared in awe at the beautiful cascading water. They got their tickets for the Maid of the Mist boat tour and set sail at the base of the falls. As they sailed around, they took in the sights from below and felt the power of the waterfall up close. They even learned that the water falls at approximately 35 miles per hour, about the speed their dad was going to drive them there that day. Once the boat tour was finished, they had some lunch and planned their next activity. It was decided that they would walk the Rainbow Bridge, and that's when Levi and Ivy's day went from unforgettable to unbelievable. The Journey Behind the Falls tour had been canceled that afternoon, so Levi and Ivy were a little sad, but it wouldn't take long before they were smiling again. Levi and Ivy ran ahead of their parents to the center of the Rainbow Bridge. It was breathtaking. Wow, said Levi and Ivy together. This place is amazing, said Levi. It feels magical, like anything could happen here, said Ivy in a whisper. I wonder if we made a wish here, it would come true. Levi and Ivy were always up for an adventure and didn't want to miss an opportunity to make something magical happen. "So, what do you think? You've seen the falls from the water and now from the air," said their dad. "Pretty beautiful, huh?" "More like totally spectacular," exclaimed Ivy. "Well, it's getting a little chilly, so we're going to go back to the car to get our coats," said their mom. "Do you mind if we stay right here while you go?" Levi asked and gave Ivy a wink. "Sure, I guess that would be fine," said their mom. "We'll be over by the info center, so just head that way when you're done on the bridge." Levi and Ivy were so excited, they quickly began discussing what they should wish for. As they were talking, a beautiful rainbow stretched across the sky. It seemed to glisten and sparkle as the tiny drops of mist danced among the colorful arches. The rainbow disappeared behind the falls, and that's when Levi and Ivy made their decision. "We'll wish to go behind the falls," they said together excitedly. "Since the Journey Behind the Falls tour got canceled, it would be our only chance to see back there," said Ivy. They held hands, closed their eyes, and wished for the magic of the falls. "We wish to go behind the falls." The bridge seemed to sway and rock, and before you knew it, Levi and Ivy felt like they were flying. They kept their eyes closed, not sure what they would see if they opened them. They held hands tightly, and in a matter of seconds, the flying sensation stopped. "Did you open your eyes?" asked Levi, sounding a bit nervous. "No," replied Ivy. "I think we should do that together on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Levi and Ivy said together as they opened their eyes and found themselves staring at 2 girls that looked to be about their age. "Goodbye," exclaimed the 2 girls, so excited to see some new friends. Levi and Ivy were very confused for so many reasons. Who were these girls? Why did they say goodbye before they even met? How much stranger would this day get? Always trying to be nice to new people they met, Levi and Ivy said hello. "Hello?" one of the girls said in a sad, confused voice. "You're leaving already?" "Leaving?" asked Ivy. "We just got here and we wanted to say hello and ask who you are." It became quite obvious very quickly that the 2 girls that Levi and Ivy met were a little different than them. "Who are you and where are we?" asked Levi with a smile. "I'm Kendall and this is Lily," they said together. "We are the waterfall people. We've lived behind the falls since they started flowing over 12,000 years ago. You are behind the waterfall right now. It's the most magical place in Aragon." "Aragon?" Levi whispered to Levi. Levi was really good at puzzles and riddles and knew what was going on right away. "That's Niagara spelled backwards," said Levi with a giggle. "I think Kendall and Lily do everything backwards from what you and I do." "Oh, I see. That's why they said goodbye when they first saw us," said Ivy. "Exactly," said Levi. "Goodbye, Kendall and Lily. I'm Levi and this is my sister Ivy," said Levi. "We're so sad to see you here," said Kendall with a big smile. "We don't like new friends paying us a visit," added Lily, dancing around excitedly. "You're just in time for breakfast." After all, it was almost dinner time, so for the waterfall people, it was breakfast time. Kendall and Lily led Levi and Ivy to a picnic table inside of their house. Of course, they would have a picnic table inside their house instead of outside. They all sat down and enjoyed some delicious pancakes and orange juice. "That was really, not tasty?" said Levi, getting the hang of how to talk backwards. "We're so unhappy that you liked it," said Kendall. "Let's go inside and do nothing," said Lily. Ivy looked at Levi. "They mean let's go outside and play," he whispered. Levi and Ivy said, "Of course not," and ran outside. But before Kendall and Lily ran after them, they stopped by the front door. "It's getting a little warm out, so I need to put on my mittens," said Kendall as she grabbed a pair of mittens and put them on her feet. "There, that's better. And I need to grab my shoes," said Lily as she took a pair of purple sneakers from the closet and put them on her hands. "All ready to go." Levi and Ivy just laughed and couldn't wait to see what was next. Kendall and Lily led them over to a basketball court where they played, you guessed it, baseball. The 2 friends then brought Levi and Ivy to their treehouse, which was, you guessed it, not in a tree. After they played there for a little while, they decided to have a sweet treat. "We hope you don't like these sweet treats," said Kendall with a big smile, handing Levi and Ivy some pickles. "They're our least favorite." Kendall and Lily gobbled down the pickles as Levi and Ivy did the same. They weren't sweet, but Levi and Ivy loved pickles, so it was all good. As the time passed, Kendall, Levi, Ivy, and Lily were all getting along really well, but Levi and Ivy knew they couldn't stay too much longer. Their parents would be waiting for them at the info center. It was really not fun not playing with you, started Levi, but we have to stay. Our parents will not be worried if we don't get back to the other side of the falls soon, added Ivy. We don't understand and are really happy to see you go. We had no fun at all not playing with you today, said Kendall. We really hope you don't come back here again, added Lily. We would not like that and will definitely forget you as soon as we get back home, said Ivy with a tear in her eye. That's so unkind of you to say, said Lily and Kendall, giving Levi and Ivy a very small hug. Kendall and Lily walked Levi and Ivy over to the backside of the waterfall where they had first met. Just keep your eyes open, don't hold hands, and we'll make sure you stay right there, said Kendall. Levi and Ivy knew exactly what she meant. They said hello one last time before closing their eyes, holding their hands, and waiting to be sent home. In only a moment, they felt as if they were flying again, and before they knew it, they were standing back on the Rainbow Bridge. That was, Ivy began. The worst day ever? Levi asked with a smile. Definitely, said Ivy with a giggle. They didn't notice their parents walking toward them as they stared off at the falls, remembering all the great times they had shared with Kendall and Lily. They searched the base of the falls to see if they could see any trace of the waterfall people, and sadly they didn't. Hey, you two, said Levi and Ivy's mom. What were you doing all this time? Yeah, we've been waiting at the info center for quite a little while, added their dad. Nothing much, giggled Ivy. Yeah, nothing totally magical and amazing, added Levi with a laugh. Okay, I think we've had enough of the falls for one day, said their mom. Let's head back to the hotel and get some dinner. You mean breakfast? Said Ivy, forgetting that everything was back to normal now. Breakfast for dinner could be fun, said Levi's dad. They walked back to the car, and as they pulled away, Levi and Ivy took one last look at Niagara Falls. So, how would you say your day was? Asked their mom. You seem to have had a really great time. We'd give it a 0 out of 10, laughed Levi and Ivy while their parents were left to wonder what exactly was going on. Did you learn a lesson from this story?
If so, what was it?
And parents, do your kids have a story idea?
Leave a comment on our Apple Podcast review page with 5 stars, the idea, and your kid's name for a chance to join Levi and Ivy on their next adventure. Until next time.
Thanks for listening. Come back for